Welcome back to the mean deviation lecture series. So this is the final video for the mean deviation, and this time around I'll be showing you how to compute the mean deviation for a group frequency distribution. In the previous video we saw how to do that for an ungrouped frequency distribution, but this time around we have grouped frequency distribution, and the formula is almost the same except for the fact that we have a C here. And if you have been following my lecture series, you should by now identify what C is or what C stands for. We are using C because this time around we are dealing with a grouped frequency distribution, and since we are going to be dealing with classes or groups, we can't work directly with the classes or groups, so we need a class representative, or what we call a class center. That's where C comes from. What we call a class center to compute, to use for our computations rather. So every other thing remains the same. We have the summation, which means you add up all the f times the deviations from the class centers, and then your n remains your total frequency. Every other thing pretty much remains the same. So quickly, let's walk into a formula, or rather let's walk the formula through an example. So we have the formula at the bottom left of the screen, the mean deviation and all of that, and the first thing you need to do is to find x bar. That's the first thing you need to do, to find x bar. X bar means mean. So usually I was supposed to find x bar, but I'm going to be skipping how to find x bar simply because I have a video dedicated to show you how to find x bar when we are dealing with grouped frequency distribution like this. So not to waste too much time, I'll be skipping the x bar. So I'm just going to write the x bar value. The x bar value, I'm just going to put that down as x bar equal to 27.98. To know how to find x bar, or the mean of a grouped frequency distribution, please refer to my video titled the arithmetic mean of grouped frequency distribution. The arithmetic mean of grouped frequency distribution. So you can refer to that video, you can pause this one, go back to that video to know how to find the mean of a grouped frequency distribution as this, then you come back to this to continue the computation. Alright, so now that we have the mean, the next thing after getting our mean, the next thing is to get your C, and we said that C means class center. So let's do that briefly or quickly. You can create another column for C. C would be, okay, let me just remind you, but I expect that by now you should know what or how to calculate C from the arithmetic mean for grouped frequency distribution video. To get your mean, you simply say your lower class limits plus your upper class limit divided by 2. So for the first class, we have our lower class limit as 7 and the upper class limit as 12. Then you divide by 2. For the second class or the second group, just say the lower class limit, which is 13, plus the upper class limit, divide all by 2. Then you use that to fill up your C column. This should be 9.5, while this is 15.5. So I'm just going to skip all the calculations and just fill up the C columns. So here we have 9.5, 15.5, 21.5, 27.5, 33.5, 39.5, 45.5, and finally 51.5. Having done that, we can move on to our formula. Our formula says find the absolute deviation of c minus x bar, or rather the absolute value of c minus x bar, which is the same thing as saying the absolute deviation from the mean. So we just create another column for c minus x bar, and okay, let me just, for simplicity's sake, let me just have a column for x bar. So we have this 27.98, 27.98. So I'll just fill that up so that you guys can understand what I'm doing. 27.98, 27.98, 27.98, and 27.98. So I can have my c minus mean colon here. So this will just mean all of this minus all of this, as simple as that. So I'll just calculate the first three or the first two, and then okay, let me see, what can I do? Okay, so we can start. The first one would be 9.5 minus 27.98. Then you just get the absolute deviation. So right here we have 9.5 minus 27.98. Since we need the absolute value, so we neglect the negative sign and just put 18.48. Then change the value again to 15.5. Here we have 12.48. The next value 21.5. Oops. 6.98. They'll move to 27.5.48. Next we have 33.5, 5.52, then 39.5, 11.52. Up next we have 45.5, 17.52, and finally we have 51.5 minus 27.8. So here we have 23.52. The next step after that, according to our formula, is to multiply everything we just add now by f, and f means your frequency here. So that we're multiplying all of this by all of this. So we just create another column for that. F times the absolute value of c minus x bar. So just bring back your calculator. So for the first one would be 3 times 18.48. So right here we have 3 times 18.48, 55.44. Up next we have 7 times 12.48. So that's 7 times 12.48. 87.36. Next, 7 times 6.98. 7 times 6.98. 48.86. Next, 14 times 0.48. We have 6.72. Next, 10 times 5.52. 5 times 11.52. 5 times 11.52. We have 57.6. 2 times, okay, let me just adjust it, sorry. 2 times 17.52. 2 times 17.52. We have 35.04. Then finally 2 times 23.52. So that is 47.04. Okay, moving on. The next thing is to find the summation of everything. So we just sum this up to get these are 55.44 plus 87.36 plus 48.86 plus 6.72 plus 55.2 plus 57.6 plus 35.04 plus 47.04. Hold on, I need to cross check. It's 7.36, 48.86, 552, then 57.6, 35, 47. Okay, so we have 393.26. Moving on, let's go back to our formula. The formula says divided by n, and n means the total frequency. So we just sum up our frequency. I'm going to skip that, but if you sum up your frequency, you notice or realize it's going to be 50. So moving on, we have our numerator divided by our denominator 50. Okay, just so bring back your calculator and get your final answer. 393.26 divided by 50. So for your mean deviation, we have 7.86523 decimal places. All right, and that's it. You can always pause and rewind the video, practice along with me. Don't just watch the video as if you are seeing a movie, but rather practice along with me. That's how to use this as a study video or as a study guide for your study. I'll see you in the next video.